Welcome to No Question About That. This is the Tactic Show with me, Ed, and him, Dharnish. How's it going, Dharnish?
Good. We're back. We're back after some rancid technical issues last week. It's just, I'm so tired of it. I'm a journalist, but all I've done the whole week is like deal with technical issues. My phone doesn't work. My laptop doesn't work. I bought a new one today. I dealt with some guy at Curry's for an hour trying to sell me a MacBook. I was like, bro, no, just fucking sell me a laptop.
No, MacBooks are that's the correct laptop to have. That's your problem, mate. You're playing the championship when you want to be in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean,
MacBook,
but they're expensive. Like it's a club, but we don't have the funds.
Do you want to know how much I spent on my MacBook? I spent. There are probably 200 countries in the world whose average GDP per capita I spent on my MacBook.
No,
it is for work.
You got to tell us now.
Really no, I'm not going to do it. It's embarrassing.
Okay, tell us at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, off air. But it is for work, and I do a lot of video editing. So anyway, let's talk about football rather than tech. We did have a lot of technical problems. You're not alone in that. Believe me, I recorded some pods this week with other people that had a lot of technical problems too. Did United have some technical problems or tactical problems? Let's start at the beginning. That lineup, gotta say, saw it, did not like at all. How did you feel about the lineup?
I don't think a lot of people did like that lineup. I think, like, I want to mention Sesko here as well, because I want Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko to play as many games as possible, even against Forest, when the attack sometimes looks good and sometimes Mbeumo has looked good in every game. Cunha's looked good in some games, and Sesko again has looked good in some games. Even if those three aren't connecting for a game, just still play them anyway. Maybe Šeško's carrying an injury. We don't know, because it appeared that he might have been, because he went off very quickly in the second half with that injury after missing that chance. But you need, I would still need all three to play together as much as possible, so they can keep the chemistry developing, keep the connections developing. They need to know where each other runs. Cunha and Mbeumo play a similar position. One drops, the other drops as well on each wing. And it just felt as though with Ahmad a little bit more advanced, you lose that connection that Mbeumo and Amad Diallo were developing. I think on the right, the left, the left is the left, right? It's the economy will figure itself out. The left is the left. It's not going very well right now, and that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with having one wing that does really well, but him taking Ahmad out sort of did that. The irony to that in general is Ahmad gave the assist for Mbeumo's goal anyway, because I think our first half press now, particularly in the first half, it gets, we'll talk about why it falls off in the second half and why this team is a completely different team away from home and why it's a different team in the second half. But that first half press is really good now. All three centre-backs, Shaw, De Ligt and Maguire, Casemiro, you can all tell they really like what they're doing in the system. Mickey van der Ven tried to do what he did against Copenhagen, and Casemiro said, hold on, mate. Hold on, kid. I'm still around here. Just shut up and sit down. And Luke Shaw and De Ligt, they come right out now to... I think Richarlison and maybe Xavi Simons were dropping inside their own half. De Ligt was very quick, very aggressive, went against him, stole the ball. And then obviously it completely died off in the second half. And I think a large reason is, we're going to discuss it, is because when the game is going to crap in the second half, they're not prepared for it, and they're not prepared to bring anything on to change that, really. Well, I'm looking at the changes here. We discussed this at length before the podcast. It was Dalot, Mason Mount, Ugarte, Mazraoui, and Lenny Yoro. 4 out of 5 of those changes are negative, and Mason Mount is very good. Football IQ is great, presses well, he's having a good season. But it's not going to change anything in attack. We're still relying on Mbeumo and Cunha to take on 4 or 5 players.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because Amorim said Ben's really important to us. He makes the team. I'm paraphrasing, but he talked about Sesko and how important he is for connecting the rest of the team. And when you take Cunha out of that kind of left half space, number 10, advanced 8, Cunha can't connect the team in the way he does from those deeper areas, and he's very important, right? Him and Bruno have worked out how to not get in each other's zones. And then you also don't have a focal point for the attack. I don't like it, right? I don't like Cunha's best moments. The reason why we've paid £70 million for him is not because he's replicating the forward he was at Atletico Madrid. It's because he's the deep-lying forward he found himself becoming at Wolves, right? Don't try and roll him back 3 years to the player he once was and wasn't as effective. Use him in the role that he's become brilliant at, right? And we love him for it. We want the goals and assists to come, and I think they will. So that was odd, right? Why did that again?
Yeah.
Maybe there's an injury. It felt like actually Sesko's was a knee injury. We'll see some reports on Twitter today saying it's not too bad. Fingers crossed, because there's no bloody other options. But the thing I really hate, really hate, is the structure of that back five. And it is a back five when you play with two fullbacks there. They're just, Dorgu gets into nice advanced spaces, and then the delivery is shit. Mazraoui doesn't get into the advanced spaces, really. He's basically another defender. You can argue about them shifting across with, and they do kind of go into a four at the back in some phases of play. But, in the defensive part of it, Delict's been brilliant this season. Don't like him in the channels. Don't want him there. As I've said over and over again, unless it's because you want to defend, you think it's going to be physical and you're going to do a lot of box defending, I don't see the benefit of playing Maguire and Dalot. Right? As it turned out, you've got a Spurs side who basically don't create anything either and don't flood players into the box either, right? Yeah. So what was the benefit? I just didn't get it. So those two big ones, Sesko missing up front and basically a flat back five, as soon as I saw it, you kind of know how United will play. And we got 0.6 something XG out of this game. It's just disappointing on the back of, those 3 victories in a row, and they were all different styles. But then another away game against the Spurs side who aren't really very good. I know they sort of got some good results at the beginning of the season, and they had a good Champions League result midweek against a very poor-looking, I saw quite a bit of that, poor-looking Copenhagen side. This is the team, as we talked about on our pod, that never made it to the internet. This is a team that got 0.05 XG against Chelsea and were as shit as it was possible to be.
They were dire. I think we could tell how blunt that back five was going to be. And it's very strange for us to sit here and talk about a back five being blunt, but the defense is the start of the build-up, and it adds what it does to the attack because it begins the attacks. Also, the Mazraoui thing, it was so obvious he was rusty during the game. I don't know whether he's doing that because he's like, well, whenever I bring players on in the 70 minutes, because I'm playing with my starting 11 so much now, whenever they come on, they just look slow. So I might as well just risk Mazraoui for the first 45, 50 minutes, and then so he can get some minutes under his belt. But there was just so many times where I think he gave the ball away in his own half. Sometimes I think Richarlison was bustling in off the ball here and there. It's just this system works on wing backs a lot, and we still don't. Yeah. We have Amad Diallo, but then if you want to move Amad Diallo, that's fine. But then you lose a lot of
no other options.
A lot of the good stuff that he brings. The last 20 minutes when we needed more of an attacking impetus, the changes that he brought on, I think it was like 4 or 5 within 8 minutes. Casemiro, he said at the end of the game, we can't keep him on for that long. Maguire was injured. Sesko was injured. That's fine. I get that. What I would do is probably move Bruno Fernandes up the pitch and advanced. Mason Mount is fine. He's a better presser than Fernandes. Put him in the middle with Ugarte if you want. And I would put Fernandes up there because he take the risk and he'll likely punch one ball through to Mbeumo in behind. That's what I would have done. I think that he made those changes in that part of the game. I think 20, 25 minutes left, apart from the injuries, because the defensive line, again, was so deep. Same again, that happened against Nottingham Forest. They all of a sudden turned into the low block of death. It's like, wait, what? Why are you trying to defend a 1-0? We've got a whole half left yet.
Yeah. It is funny, the Mount thing, isn't it? He seems to me to be a number 8.
Yeah.
He gets about the pitch brilliantly. He's very intelligent. He gets into good positions to get the ball. He would get a lot of the ball there. His passing is pretty incisive, especially over short areas, but he's not particularly creative and doesn't offer much of a goal threat. Just look through his data over 10 seasons now. He's had one with double figures, goals and assists. Doesn't create a lot of chances. I'm missing something clearly because no manager has ever tried him there. So clearly no one trusts him in that position, or they just like the fact that he's such a good presser and so aggressive from the front and everyone can follow what he does so much that's where they play him. But anyway, it's kind of one of those, it's the mythical creature, isn't it? Mason Mount, number 8. You kind of think he should be there, but like Loch Ness Monster, you've never actually seen him.
I don't remember him playing there with Tuchel's Chelsea a lot. I remember him and Kante being in midfield a lot and him being fine in deeper areas. So I would just push Fernandes ostensibly up the pitch. Like if you want him slightly more advanced, you can, but you can bring him back as well. But it's becoming a repeat pattern, right? We're almost at the stage of the season where we kind of know what each team is going to do. I love this stage of the season because this is when it hots up, but we're 10, 11 games in now. We know United are really good at home because they press really aggressively. We know that the press in general has improved. They stifle opposition's center of the pitch. We know away from home they struggle to create a lot. We know away from home they struggle to create in the second halves. We know away from home they're just very bad in the second half. And we've had 2 games in a row now where 2 set-piece goals have rescued the result. Very good, really good that those 2 results have been rescued because last season, they were one of the worst teams in the country by far. And I've seen a lot of hate online and people saying, I'm really pissed off about the last 2 games. But why aren't we creating much? I know it's not going to go from one of the worst teams in the country to, easily figure out how to break down teams in second halves. But at the same time, with what they've bought, you should be creating more than what they did against Forest and Tottenham in the second half. You should be having more than 2 shots on goal in the second half.
0.52 XG, that whole game from open play, United.
Bloody hell.
Second half, 0.24 XG, right? So, like nothing. You'd have had to play 4 of those second halves to get a goal. And that really is a problem. And that's unsustainable if United want to get to European football. It does have to be better than that. And it was just very, very passive as well. And you can look at in terms of the pressing, I mean, you said good at home, the passes per defensive action, it is shot up a little bit this season, right? Really? So they're, especially away from home, they're dropping into a mid-block quite early rather than being very aggressive from the front. I guess he doesn't want to get the team stretched out, the Ten Hag donuts, and he wants to be more compact. and system-wise, we're not conceding that many system goals, right? You're not looking at it and going, right, they're not in the right position. It's a lot of stupid errors. I mean, Spurs' first goal, there's 6 United players in the box at that point when the cross comes across. Someone's got to do something about that.
It was a make a yard turn and shoot. But you invite that pressure when you spend most of the second half on the edge of your own penalty area. There was no out ball as well. I was like, okay, so this is it. We're gonna defend what we have. I know there was I think 6 minutes left when Matisse Tell scored, but at the same time, it's just stop inviting so much pressure second half. Stop doing the things you were doing last season where you said, I don't want to play this way, but we need points. We know they can defend the box well because they've got Maguire and De Ligt, but I'd prefer it not to be that way. The only time where there was respite was when the changes came because he put 3 or 4 of them on in a block. But I think that's the biggest problem right now is creating from open play away from home.
Yeah. And funnily enough, half our games are away from home. So you got to be a real problem in half our games. Yeah, really. I mean, it's funny
my God.
How it works. Yeah, it's amazing. Season. Yeah. I meant on them, funnily enough, let's do a little aside on joking about where you play games. It's the playoffs in the MLS, right? It's weird enough having playoffs in a league format. I guess you could say it's a similar kind of format to the Champions League or whatever, right? Playoffs in the MLS. Two-legged games, right? You start your playoffs. You'd think you'd win based on who scores the most goals over those 2 legs. No. It's not how it works.
Huh?
It's who wins the most games.
Oh,
It's weird as fuck. It's like a baseball playoff. Yeah.
yeah.
So just an example. This is the weirdest one. Minnesota, whatever they're called, versus Seattle
Vikings, I think.
Sounders. No, isn't that the American
Oh,
football?
wait, sorry.
Vikings?
Sorry, all the Americans out there. My bad.
Yeah.
Somebody
Minnesota
tell us.
something.
Timberwolves is the basketball team. Just putting that out there.
I don't know. I could look it up, but I can't be bothered.
No, me neither.
So anyway, first game in Minnesota ends 0-0. So they do a penalty shootout. Minnesota win the penalty shootout. Game 1 to Minnesota. Second game in Seattle win 4-2. Game 2 to Seattle. 4-2 on aggregate, doesn't count. So they play a third game.
So it's
play a third game, ends 3-3. Minnesota win the penalty shootout, and they go through. Weird as fuck. Anyway, I don't know why I got into that.
So
I just
it's
had
like
to rant
NBA,
about it.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like
or
NBA.
baseball.
It's like,
yeah,
oh.
It's a series. Yeah,
I know. I mean,
yeah, not
pretty
aggregate.
exciting. It's a war of attrition.
I guess. Just weird.
Maybe we should do the Premier League that way, to be honest.
So the goals for and against don't count. It's just win game wins.
Just win
and
games.
You never have a draw.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
Capture the American market. Don't say it too loud. Someone might get that idea.
No,
All right.
Steal ours.
Back to Tottenham 2, United 2. I get. Yeah, I didn't like how it was structured. I didn't like the substitutions. They didn't work at all. I don't like how passive United have become in these second halves. Yeah. What I do like is United's ability to get something out of it. I mean, it's and we've got a brilliant ball from Ahmad to Bueno, and they sustain the attack as well, right? So that was the second or third phase of that attack. But I think maybe the third phase. And Cunha's popped up in two different places, got it to Bruno, out to Ahmad, and the brilliant cross for Mbumo's header. And that's nice, right? They've actually managed to sustain it. It perhaps only happened once in the game that they did that. And then late goal from the set piece. We are scoring a few goals from set pieces now. And it's second game in a row. We saved something I suspect last season would have lost both those games against Forest and Spurs, right? Yeah, it's not a tactical point, but they're getting cheap goals. 3 goals get you points.
Yeah, it's very good. This team has improved from what it was last season, which is I think we still need context to this because what was it? I don't know. 2 months ago, we saw this guy moving his tactics board around for the Grimsby game, and we were like, God, everything's going to shit, and Cole only got a Solskjaer rep and all this. So it has improved and it is improving. It's a team that doesn't give up. It's got tenacity. I think they would have lost both of those games last season against Forest and Tottenham. It's just they really struggle. And you're going to struggle when you keep facing waves of attacks. Like even if the players are not that good, right? Forest attackers are all out of form. Spurs top scorer is Mickey van der Ven. Mm-hmm. But if you keep plowing crosses into the box and they keep putting opponents in there, or they keep putting bodies in there, at some point something's gonna give. But absolutely love that it's 5 unbeaten. I know people were joking about that online and saying, ha ha ha, we should have won the last 2 games. Yeah, but that's just not how it works, is it really? Progress isn't really linear. The Premier League is very difficult to win. Arsenal just got rattled at the Stadium of Light. So all things considered, going into the international break, there's definitely something interesting going on this season and something to hold on to.
Oh, yeah. And what you can point to then where the progress can be made. You're right, not linear. There are steps along the way. He's changed up the tactics this season within the same formation, same principles, and gone long in some games. Not in this game particularly. Not in the game against Forest either. Very long against Liverpool. So he's horses for courses and changing it up depending on the opponent. That's smart, right? It's pragmatic. Came in with all these principles and his philosophy, and he's gone a bit more pragmatic, and that's okay. He needed points, right? He couldn't have sustained it. And it was a bad start. It wasn't the best start to the season, but he's turned it around, and we are harder to beat if you can cut out the individual errors. And I think both of those goals were goals you could prevent. Someone can stop a cross, please.
Yeah.
Brilliant turn from Tell, and the deflection takes it past the keeper, but there's somewhere in there that you stop Tell getting the ball. Second one, Uarte.
Yeah, maybe don't lose it so high up.
and just get out and play him offside.
But why is he the guy? But why is he the guy that's always like he comes on and I'm like, wait, why are you losing it again when in the opponent's half? You should be like near ours. You know what I mean? He's a central defensive midfielder, and then you look to the other end. Spurs are attacking. Oh, we got a midfielder back though. It's like no, it's Bruno Fernandes. Like I don't switch the roles, right? Switch the roles. I want Bruno to lose it further up the pitch because if he probably won't lose it, he'll probably create a chance. And Ugarte, you just do what you're good at. All right, you're tough. You're Uruguayan. You put tackles in. You make blocks. All that shit. So why does he?
They should simplify his game. Yeah.
The cameo against Brighton was his probably best minutes this season because he came on, blocked, tackled, headed. Just do that, mate. Do your job. Know your place.
Unfortunately, his value to the team and probably the squad is diminishing by the week, and I would not be surprised at all if they sell him in the summer, given the 2-year rule. They're not getting out of him what they need to get out of him, unfortunately. And it's just the fact that it goes to chaos when he comes on. He becomes the kind of counter presser, and Bruno's deeper. I don't get it. I would restrict his role. You sit here, you do not move, you tackle within this zone, you make interceptions, blocks, fouls, and you give it as simple as possible to someone else. It's one-dimensional player. Keep his role one-dimensional too.
It's a dramatic drop-off from Casemiro to Ugarte at the minute because Casemiro was at once like, oh, he's brilliant. And then it's, oh, no, now he's washed. And now it's, oh, wait, no, he's brilliant again. Please, I love you, uncle. Please save me. Whereas relying on him now, as I think they all were in his first season when he was just utterly terrific. So it's maybe Mainu gets more minutes as the season gets on, please. Because don't send him away in January, please.
Hard to see it. I mean, he talked about Bruno perhaps being a rotation option next season. It was kind of interesting comment from him there. I wouldn't read too much into it yet. A long time to go before we get there. And it's dependent on in European football as well, which is not guaranteed, but it really has to be. Can we talk about Patrick Dorgu and his role?
Yeah.
He's very physical. He gets around. I don't want to label him as just an athlete, right? But he gets in the right positions. His pace is great. He defended all right yesterday. His pass completion rate was at 60.4%. And that is the problem, right? When he gets the ball, it's very untidy when he tries to pass it to anyone else.
I'm finding it funny that like you're bringing the topic to the podcast and then trying to gas him up by saying positive things, but you don't really have anything good to say. I think
I just don't want to be the guy who's shitting on him for the sake of it, right? And
it's a valid point because Ahmad has probably made right wing back his own, right? It's the best team is Sesko and Mbeumo Cunha, Ahmad are right wing back, Casemiro, Fernandes in the middle. Back three is the back three, whatever. You can change them around. The left wing back is a huge problem for me because Dalot is all right in big games, but then he gets it in attack and it's literally guys just wait for the ball to go out because it's going to come back to us. And Patrick Dorgu, it was Amorim's first signing, and he's very young. He, like you said, he tries hard.
Yeah,
he wins a lot of fouls.
Great ball carrier.
Yeah, good ball carrier.
Very good ball carrier.
Bad cross though, so I would like that to improve for our wing backs.
29 carries, 5 take-ons yesterday. It's very good numbers, right? It's just when he tries to pass it, it's fucking terrible.
It is.
And he's created, he's one assist. One assist in 31 games as a United player.
Was that the Brentford one?
That surely is not good enough.
The Brentford one when Sesko basically made the chance his own from a bad chipped cross.
He's not even getting free ones where he plays it 5 yards before Bruno bangs one in. So, and it's not as if he's getting unlucky either, because I think expected assists is 2 point something, right? It's not like he's the data is wildly out of place. He's not creating chances, so no goal creating or shot creating assists either. It's just the attacking numbers. That's a reasonable data set. They're really bad, and I would have hoped he'd have improved it. I'm not a football coach, so I don't think it's as simple as saying, hey, mate, you put in 95 crosses now. You do 3 hours of crossing training or whatever it is, but as you would if you were playing a football game. But it's not improved at all, and it's a real problem. I'd be tempted, if I was thinking about it, to go spend some money, like just so he doesn't have to play every game. Because the other option's even worse. It's Diogo Dalot.
Diogo Dalot.
Right? Yeah,
I would look at buying a fullback here. Absolutely. Buy two fullbacks. Buy a bad one and a good one, and see which one works.
Or even an attacking one, right?
Yeah,
like, so what's the worst thing here, right? Is it having an attacking wing back who is a bit dodgy defensively and you have to cover for, or is it having an all-rounder like Dorgu, who's, I think, done all right defensively? I can't really point to a lot of mistakes he's made, but offers absolutely... Because we thought it was the other way round, right? When he came, we were like, here's a player who has played all over the pitch for Lecce, including in attacking areas, scores some banging goals. He's going to provide a lot in an attacking sense, and there's nothing.
Yeah, you raised a good point. We see, like, I'll get the stats after this probably. I want to see the percentage of attacks that go down Man United's right as opposed to their left.
The skew, it probably is skewed to the right at the moment. Yeah,
because I don't really see him making that many runs, and that's what this system is about, really. Because I like it, and Mbeumo and Cunha drop deep, drag a defender with them. They receive it, they either turn them and run past 2 or 3 defenders, or they pass it back to the defender, and hey presto, the guy that was following them is well out of position. And then on the right side, that's brilliant because Amad Diallo is going past him. On the left side, I don't really see Dorgu running in behind that much, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't know. You could move Luke Shaw there. Luke Deshaw at the minute cannot do any wrong for some reason. I think he's just, someone's just woke him up and told him.
He's in a good rhythm and he's not been injured.
Yeah. Well, and someone has told him, hey buddy, you've got an international tournament, by the way. He's like, oh, great. I'm here.
Weird thing is Tuchel hasn't picked him at all, but he's going to play a flat back 4, Tuchel. Shaw is surely his best option there.
I'm sure he gets picked. It's who got in? Adam Scott got in? Not Adam Scott, Alex Scott. Adam Scott's the golfer, my bad. Alex Scott got into the England team.
Or the actor. Yeah, well, he's played Miles Lewis Skelly there, who's obviously a very good player.
He's not really played, though.
But he likes to invert rather than go on the outside. So you want options. Otherwise, he won't have a left back. I'm not quite sure if you can win an international tournament with no left back.
Would be there
you go. Yeah, it is a problem for United. And I would look to change it in January. Just give him support. I know we're not playing a lot of games, and physically he's young, and that's not the problem, getting injured, Dorgu, but the over-reliance is quite significant, and it's a problem.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like the whole Rasmus Højlund situation. Whereas clearly this player's got something about him. But you playing for United now and you're leading the line, and that brings a lot of ire. I remember Højlund got treated badly last season. I felt a lot of it was justified. Not a lot of it, but it just felt like he wasn't really doing much. But then entrusting a young player to come that good straight away, it's not really what Man United do anymore. You need to be careful. You need to hold their hands and stuff like that. The atmosphere can turn toxic very quickly. Real Madrid do that quite well. The young players come in, they're like, we're the best thing since sliced bread. Get him some help.
Yeah, the other one they might think about, I mean, obviously we're thin in central midfield, but I think they'll probably want to save money for the summer to go for a big purchase. But if Sesko is injured, no other options, right? We don't know how bad the knee injury is. Touch wood, it's not too bad, and it's the international break, so we haven't got a game for 2 weeks, and he comes back and he's all right. Right, touch wood. But if it was a serious injury, what are the options? Xerxes or Cunha up there, neither of whom want to play in that position.
Again, I'll say it again. Push Fernandes up deeper, higher up the pitch. Don't put him put him left, but let him do what he wants. Cunha does what he wants. Let him do the same. Put Mbeumo up top, Cunha left, Fernandes right, or whichever. Mount and Cass in the middle.
How do you feel about Mbeumo playing through the centre if Sesko gets injured? Because he's a threat in behind, and he's a really good finisher. And he's good in the air as well. Not sure I've seen much with his back to goal and sort of bringing players into play like that, but he's an all-round footballer. I don't think it would be a disaster.
Player of the season so far, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Player of the season so far. It's just I would be worried that if he is the central striker, I think he's top scorer as well. Yeah. We won't have somebody on. I think the biggest differences in attack this season are Cunha and Mbeumo. And last season it was Garnacho and Rashford, or Garnacho and Højlund, or Garnacho and maybe Bruno on the left and right hand side of either side of the striker. And neither were good at doing the role because neither were dropping deep. And I feel like when Mbeumo, if or when he is the central striker, number one, the relationship that is developing with Ahmad would go. Number two, we won't have somebody who drops deep and who can basically take on 3 or 4 players. So, and this is it now. This is, we're getting into the season fully now. It's not a dress rehearsal anymore. So the squad is going to be tested, and this squad, it doesn't really have a lot of depth at all.
No, we're seeing that now with Harry Maguire injury, potential Sesko injury, AFCON coming up. It starts to look quite thin.
I forgot about AFCON.
Don't forget about AFCON.
No, never, never.
All right, I guess we'll leave it there for the Tactics show. Not great. And a lot of this was Amorim's setup, I think, and then the changes he made. What we have seen from Amorim, and the thing that makes me feel some hope, is that he is now willing to change things up, right? He was so dogmatic last season. I'm never going to change. You want to change the system, you change the man, right?
You want the
truth. I know he said that this season, by the way, but we are seeing changes game to game. They're not always working, but he is trying to find solutions.
Yeah. I wasn't actually going to add much to that. I was just going to do the whole Jack Nicholson, you want the truth, you can't handle the truth. But that's, I think you covered it quite well.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, everyone. Quick review of United v Spurs. Not awesome, but it could have been a lot worse, and it would have been last season. Thank you, Dharnish.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, listeners. Catch you next time.